Sometimes it's really hard to grasp why one particular rare plant should be worthy of so much attention. But when you start thinking about all the other life at that site that might use this particular plant, whether it's a pollinator or an insect or some other species, you start understanding the network of lives that are integral to making an ecosystem healthy. My name is Wendy Gibble. I'm the program manager for the Washington Rare Plant Care and Conservation Program at the University of Washington. Showy stickseed is a rare native plant in the Boraginaceae, or the forget-me-not family. We only know of one location where this very rare endemic plant occurs, and that's in central Washington near Leavenworth. And it grows on extremely steep hills on loose, coarse granitic sand. So it's a really unique site, and that probably is why its distribution is so limited. We've been working with U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service to do outplantings at both the native site as well as new introduction sites. Members in this genus, Hackelia, typically occur on these very steep, loose substrates, and they seem to be adapted to living in these environments. When the seeds are shed from the plant, they tumble down the slope and get abraded by the coarse substrate. What we have found when we've tried to germinate these seeds is that the seed coats prevent the embryo from developing. So we actually have to physically cut into and remove the nutlet as well as a portion of the seed coat to allow the embryo to start root development. After seed excision, germination will start. And once we see that, we will pot the embryos, put them into plugs with a soil mix that we've determined works well for growing these in the nursery. Outplantings are one of the tools we have to try to build resilience and redundancy for these species. Right now, we have only one known site. And if there was a catastrophic event on that site, for instance, a landslide, and these are very steep, loose sites, we could lose a significant portion of the population. So by establishing new sites, we can build some redundancy into the population and better protect it for long term. The outplanting for this plant is particularly difficult, and the sites we're working on are steep with 40% slopes. There have a lot of loose rock and sand, and so we have to be very careful about maneuvering around on the site. And we're trying to carry up over 200 plants to these sites, so we have a big load. We use forestry tree planting bags to help us get that load up the hill. In the near term, we're going to be visiting these sites each spring to see how many plants survive the winter season the first year, and then the full summer, hot summer, and winter the next year. We also pay particular attention to the exact location where we put these plants in the ground, trying to do meticulous microsite selection. So we'll be looking at whether that improved our survivorship and performance.